Hello, everybody. Welcome back to How Come. I love this episode so much. I recorded with Rachie B, who's the host of the Dating App Disasters podcast, and my great friend, Lauren Hope Krass, who is a stand-up comedian. She's also on staff at Betches Media as a content manager, podcast host, video star, and humor writer. You also might know her because she filled in for me permanently now at DST. That's why How Come episodes have been coming back more regularly. I'm not there anymore, but Lauren is, and I love her so much. She is sharing her story of why she is not and has not been having sex. And Rachel is here to share her story of how she has never masturbated in her life, not once. And it is such an interesting conversation, and I am so excited for you guys to hear it. Before we get into all of that, last week's episode was so much fun with Salma Hindi. I just want to thank her again for sharing her story. We did put up a clip where I asked Salma if taking off her hijab felt liberating or weird. And a bunch of people were like, ooh, we don't like the word liberating here. And it's because it makes the hijab seem inherently oppressive. And that was not my intention at all. I was just thinking about how other people have spoken about different religions and leaving those things and how liberating that can be. But obviously, liberation is different for every person. And I just want to stress that. A lot of women wrote that wearing hijab actually makes them feel more liberated. So those are important stories too. Whatever makes you feel liberated, as long as it is not harming anyone else, we support it here at How Come. I support it. And yeah, I also was thinking about liberating as just like taking off a pair of socks at the end of the day or going outside without wearing makeup. I was just thinking about it as like another thing to do instead of a religious thing, which religious clothing is different. So apologies to anybody who felt that word use was prickly or wrong or offensive. Sincerest apologies. And I'm always grateful to have these conversations and learn. And the conversation that you are about to hear today is fantastic. Content warning, we are talking about body stuff, as Lauren and I often do. Eating disorders are mentioned, and trigger warning for a host of conversations on assault. So if any of that feels bad to you to hear, take a break, but also give it a try. It might not be so bad, and it is a really good conversation. So again, excited for you to hear it, and enjoy.
How come? How come? How come I can't achieve? How come I can't achieve? I'm rolling up my sleeves. I'm rolling up my sleeves. Oh baby, I believe these guests can help. 'Cause I can't do it by myself. I wanna jizz.
Welcome, Lauren.
I miss you.
I miss you too. And
so
welcome,
nice.
Rachel.
Thank you. Hi, guys.
Hi, girls. Why did I say girls?
It's a girls' day.
It's a girls' day.
Why did I say guys? I mean, whatever.
Yeah, why is that the norm?
I don't know.
Women.
Chicks, broads.
Yeah. So I chose you guys together very specifically because Rachel famously has never masturbated.
Wow.
Yep.
And Lauren is famously not having sex.
Okay.
Not an incel, volcel. I don't like either of those terms, actually. We call it boy sober, apparently. Gen Z calls it boy sober.
Yes, that's the TikTok term.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so I want to get into those things. But before we do that, let's just dive in to coming. Have we ever done it?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so you have sex then.
Oh,
If you're
yes.
not- okay.
Not frequently, but when I can.
Okay.
And Lauren, have you come?
Yesterday.
Great.
I hope my roommate never listens to this podcast. She'll never knock on my door again to be like, can you do the dishes?
Come and knock on my door.
Do you have a
I
little
am
do not
having a
disturb sign
cum.
like at the hotel on your door?
I should do that. Just put a sock on my door. I'm having a moment with myself.
Okay.
Okay, so then, great. Do you remember the first time you ever came?
So, well, it's the first time I ever masturbated, which was later in life.
Okay.
For most people, hashtag not all people.
Yeah.
But when I studied abroad in Spain, I was 21, and the shower had the attachment thing, and you know, I experimented.
Had you like seen it in a movie?
I was going to say, had you heard of people using that? Or you were just like...
I was cleaning myself.
Ah.
And I was like, wait a minute. Okay, so I'm kind of dirty. Like I will take a shower with my shower cap on. Like I clean my vagina, but I hate to wash my hair. I wash my hair like once a week.
Okay.
Same.
And sometimes the vagina gets washed once every 3 days. Like it's not great.
Yeah.
Again, not going to share this podcast. Just kidding. I will. But I showered like every day in Spain because I discovered my body there.
Multiple showers a day.
Just one. But
Okay.
yeah, it's my family. My host family was probably like, she's
using up all of the water.
this isn't worth it for this host stipend that they're getting. But yeah, I discovered I'm confident I came. It's a little hard to tell because there's a lot of water down there, so it's like,
Yeah.
but I remember feeling
But it's
like
the
I
feeling.
went to a completion
Yeah.
in a way. And it was amazing. And I miss that shower head. I think about him,
How
her.
old you were?
21.
Oh, you were 21.
Yeah.
Okay. So when the first time I did it, I didn't really know what happened to me. And then I was like, oh, wait,
But what were the circumstances? Because you've never masturbated. So
Right.
this must have been
So I don't know how I learned this.
You fell on a couch arm.
classic.
I was making out with this guy. I was still a virgin. And we were dry humping.
I love dry humping. Like, please continue.
And then it was like, it just happened. I was like, it felt like my whole body like exploded.
Wow.
And so I was just like,
and both fully clothed?
yes.
Wow.
Yes. And it was, I was like, oh, what the fuck was that? And then I don't even think I told him. I don't know if he knew that I did. Maybe he did. I don't know. But I was like 16, 17.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I hadn't had sex yet or anything.
Okay. And after that, there was no feeling of like, I want to do that again.
I'm sure I did. I'm sure because I'm sure I dry humped others.
But you would
along
just
the
seek
line.
out other knees and legs.
It wasn't knees and
Is
legs.
this-
I wasn't dry humping his leg. That's weird. I was like, we were
No,
like
but you know how
body
like,
parts to body parts, like, but just with clothes on.
Gotcha.
Oh, I always think about it like grinding,
Yeah.
like two legs interlocked.
No, they're hard under their jeans and they
Yes.
rub onto you.
Yes.
And it's really awesome, actually. It's called the Christian orgasm. It's what we did growing up. We weren't allowed to have sex. So we just jeans dry humped our way to heaven.
Our way to heaven. That's got to be the dude.
It's underrated.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. And then, it's so crazy. I remember I did it to someone else and I was friends with his friend. And I remember him telling me like, hey, you got to stop doing that. You're like, because you're not going to have sex with him. So like, that's kind of like giving him like, I don't know if he said blue balls, but he was like, yeah, he was just like,
Protect the man.
guys don't enjoy it. Just so you know, guys don't enjoy that. If there's no like other things coming.
But you're like, but I enjoy it.
Yeah, I was like, I don't care.
I'm having a lot of fun.
So
I was like,
upsetting.
that's his problem. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I didn't do it again after that.
Oh no.
Yeah, but it's fine. Well, it's not fine. I had some bad stuff happen after that, where some bad things happened, and then I didn't really enjoy sex again till I was 26.
Okay. And I'm sorry to hear that, and you don't have to share what the bad things were, but that probably affected why you didn't feel comfortable exploring yourself as well.
So it's a little deeper for me as to the reason why I don't masturbate. It's not a feeling of like, hey, let me just try this. It's like I can't do it. I feel like I can't.
Physically.
Yeah, like it's not an urge.
Yeah.
It's not a want. It's not a curiosity. So I'm like, I don't know why I feel like this. And like I did some therapy and she was like, I think that there's some things you might be repressing. So she recommended other kinds of therapy, but I'm terrified. Because if something,
you don't want to find out something that
yes,
you've
and
been
have those
holding
memories
down.
top of mind, because there have been other things that have came to me after
Yeah.
that I'm like, what? Like why is like certain little flashbacks that I'll have.
That is so valid. Oh my God.
So yeah, I don't know. Like I don't have the urge, and I remember people would always either not believe me that I never did it, or they were like pressuring me to do it, or like trying to buy me sex toys, and I'm just like, bro, I just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So
no, I this is less of a pressure to do it and more just a curiosity because you've experienced an orgasm.
Yes.
And then you have that guilt of, well, I don't want to do it with another person if they're going to get blue balls, God forbid. And then you keep yourself back from experiencing that pleasure again. But like that is super valid, like you said, but it's very relatable because I was just talking about this on another podcast recently about how somebody recommended sex therapy to me. And I was like, I don't want to go and find out something about myself. And she was like, is it find out or like you already know?
So that is the thing. There, Christina Hutchinson, right? And we talked about this a lot. And she, talked about mushrooms and the mushroom therapy. And I watched the Netflix special. Had a full panic attack when I watched that number 2.
I didn't see it.
Oh my God. There is a episode where they do it's a guided mushroom therapy. And basically you're laying on a bed.
What's this show?
It's I forget what it's called. It's on Netflix. It's about mushrooms.
Okay.
It's like the history of mushrooms, and there's all different, there's different episodes in the series. Maybe it was called How to Train Your Mind or something like that. And so they're have a blindfold on them. They're underneath a blanket, and the doctor is holding their hand while they're going through the trip to guide them through it. And I tell you, I had a whole I had to turn it off.
Wow.
I don't know why that triggered me so much. And but the thought of doing it in nature was really appealing to me. And I think I might try that.
Mushrooms or masturbating?
Mushrooms. Mushrooms or masturbation?
Both.
Yeah, I still don't want to masturbate though. I don't know. I did want to try the underwear, the vibrating remote underwear with a partner where he can control it from his phone.
That could be fun.
If he's involved, that doesn't feel as threatening to me.
That's so interesting.
Can I just also say that I feel like there's this idea that we have to go back and heal and remember everything traumatic that happened to us in order to move on. Like, I don't believe that's true.
Interesting.
I believe we can be healed through just being tuned in with our bodies. Remy knows this about me. I'm an intuitive eater. I do mindfulness, like cognitive behavioral therapy. And we don't do crazy EMDR shit where we go back into my memories. I focus on okay, what triggered me this week? And where did I feel it in the body? And how was I actually feeling? And there's a lot of people who think like this, where you don't there's no pressure to go back and relive your worst memories.
Yeah.
You can live your life without torturing yourself. There's a better way to explain it, but
I understand exactly
Yeah.
what you mean. The guy that I see, he tells me that he's your brain is protecting you for a reason.
Exactly. I have gaps, and my therapist's good, your brain was working. Your brain was doing what it was supposed to be doing. And I feel it's a very Western thing, a very perfectionist thing to be no, I want to go back in and check all the boxes and remember everything. And it's
and make sure that I've done all of it.
You can just work on you today.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, that would be a lovely thing to think that would be true. I just don't know. I don't know.
You feel you need to go back in and address.
That could also be other people's telling me that.
That's
that
what I'm
you're not
saying.
going to get to the best version of yourself.
Right.
If you don't get to the bottom of it. You're not going to heal from it. You're not going to move on. You're not going to get over whatever it is that you need to get over. But it is interesting because it's terrifying.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to hear that perspective.
There are different schools of thought, surrounding so many types of psych and stuff. And some people who say you do need to do that. And some people are just move forward. And I feel we talk about on this podcast so much that it's everybody is so specific. Not one sex toy is going to get everyone off. Not one position is going to get everyone off. Just the same way that not one type of mental health care is going to help.
There's no one
everyone.
size fits all for types of therapy.
This is not Brandy Melville.
Oh, God. My brain is still broken from that.
I know. For those of you who aren't familiar, Lauren actually took over my position at Diet Starts Tomorrow.
Hey, guys.
And that's why we miss each other so much. But yeah, we've talked about Brandy Melville and how one size fits all really means
One size fits nobody.
Fits 1%.
Fits.
Yeah. But with you, so do you ever get like the feeling of, oh, I wish I could just have a cum today? And what do you do if that arises?
I want to say yes because I feel like that's the answer that I should give you.
No.
So the way my mind works sexually is if I have someone in my life that I care about and feel comfortable with, I want to do it all the time. If there's no person there, I don't even think about it.
That's me too.
Okay.
That's me too.
Really?
Yeah, I don't care about sex at all. But if I'm really interested in someone, like, please, as I say, rail right through me.
Yes.
You know? But if I don't have anybody I'm interested in, like, I literally could care less. And I wonder, like, is this a part of the asexuality spectrum where I'm just not driven by sex? Or am I just...
I think it's more part of the demisexuality spectrum where you need to be attracted to the person
No,
and
I've
like
had
really
one-night
like
stands that have been fine and good. I'm just over it now. We'll get into my
maybe
stuff
it doesn't
later,
even
but
need a classification is the other thing.
Right.
Like I feel like there are people listening to this that heavy relate with both of you.
yeah.
And are like, oh, does this mean A, B, or C about me? And it's like, what if it just means that that's a part of your preference?
That's really good to hear, Remy. Thank you. Because it feels confusing and gaslighting to be like, oh, I'm like this. And
sometimes
there's
you
no
don't
word
fit,
for it.
No, but and sometimes you don't fit into that box.
yeah.
And then you're like, well, what am I now? And it's like, what if you are just what you are today?
It's weird how much we gaslight ourselves.
Right.
On everything.
Because we're both normal, hot, funny women who don't give a fuck about sex. You know, we're not alone.
Like I can see a guy and be like, oh my God, he's really attractive. But I've never had that thought of like, oh my God, I want to have sex with him. Like
Okay.
I need to
Oh.
have a conversation. There needs to be some type of
Yeah.
chemistry. There needs to be a connection for me to want to even think about that.
Okay. And you feel the same way?
I mean,
No.
certain celebrities on TV, I'll be like,
Yeah.
There's always exceptions.
I could
to the rule,
imagine
sure.
sex with them. But it is interesting because I think I do this too. And it's crazy because not to lump men together, but I think men do this where they'll like immediately imagine having sex with like almost any woman that they meet.
Any hole.
Any hole. But if I'm trying to think because my birthday, I had a slutty birthday. I made out with a stranger at a bar.
Wow.
But I'm thinking back to it, and I wasn't thinking about having sex with him. I wasn't thinking, ooh, I want him inside me, or oh, I hope we get to have sex. Like,
Okay.
it was like I liked the attention, and I liked the physical touch, and I liked the
There was
making
chemistry,
out.
yeah.
Yeah, and now, oh my God, I'm having an epiphany. I think that's what I want. It's like I want touch, and I want kissing, and I want holding.
Yeah.
But I don't like this like pressure that we have. Not to sound like I'm in my private Christian school that I went to.
Yeah.
But like, I don't like the pressure to have sex right away.
To fluid swap.
Or I don't,
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Fluid bonding. Sorry.
Fluid bond. Yeah. I just want someone to hold me.
Yeah.
You know? Like, why can't after a third date you come over and like we spoon?
You can.
I don't know. I don't think they're gonna go for that.
That's what I'm saying. We don't.
But who-
They have us. These guys have us trained, Remy, to think that they're gonna try.
Check this out though.
Go ahead.
You think that you want that, but if he did not try anything with you in the bed, you would automatically your head would be like, oh my God, what the fuck? Why doesn't he want to have sex with me? What?
What if she had already said,
This is what I want.
this is what I
You're
want?
still gonna fucking try? What do you mean? No.
No.
Maybe not everybody.
I don't think
I grew up in a
everybody.
different time, guys. I think men are a little bit more scared
Well,
now,
this
which
is how
great.
I'm thinking. This is what's in my head, is what you're saying. But I think maybe Remy could be a voice of reason here, and maybe there are guys who wouldn't try something.
I haven't met one yet, but cool. I'm sure they're out there.
Right.
But okay, so whether they exist or not,
Right.
you wrote your article, I'm not having sex and I actually love it.
Right.
And it's a great article that it's like you went boy sober, like kind of unintentionally.
It's an accident.
What do you mean by that? Like, how did that accident happen?
Well, COVID is part of it. That's like a good 2-year chunk. But then it was just a series of, I'm a big metaphor person. You know how when you do intuitive eating, sometimes you stop drinking? So I feel like when you learn boundaries and you learn self-love and self-respect over time, you put up with less and less and less, and then all of a sudden you're not having sex with people you don't want to have sex with anymore.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what happened.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What is intuitive eating?
And well, do we have an hour? It's a revolutionary way to get in touch with your body. It's not a diet. Sometimes people do it and they'll gain weight. Some people stay the same. Some people lose weight depending on where you're coming from. And it's all about listening to what your body actually wants.
Yeah.
Like the easiest way to describe it, which doesn't describe it, is like you eat if you're hungry. If you're full, you kind of stop. You notice how different things react with your body. So a lot of intuitive eaters end up quitting drinking because they're noticing how bad they feel when they drink, and they're used to eating things that make them feel good. And it's non-restrictive. You can eat whatever you want.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
And a lot of people, they might just be thinking, oh, well, that's how I eat. And if that's you, fantastic.
You're probably a man, and congrats.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But for a lot of people who have had eating disorders or...
My digestion is trash, so I feel like I can't even eat anything at this point.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm trying to figure it out.
Well, I think there's like things in intuitive eating too that are like, there are some restrictions, but it's not because it's like...
Well, it's because you do it because it's what feels good. You don't do
right.
it because it's
so
a rule.
It would feel good to
like,
not fuck
fucks
with your
brain in a good
digestion.
way.
Okay.
It takes years too. People who want like fast quote unquote results shouldn't do it. Like it takes years to learn how to listen to your body again after not even just dieting, but just culture of like, don't swim after you eat, and like dinner's coming up, so I'm gonna not eat until dinner time. And it's like we do all these things that aren't natural to what our body is asking for. So it takes years to kind of get back in touch.
I see.
But I've been doing it since 2018, and I've just now kind of like stopped drinking. So it's funny. I'm like I'm getting alcohol sober, and I'm like boy sober.
Yeah.
It's like,
but so what's so interesting is
left?
our last episode, I was talking to Salma Hindi, who is a great comic, and she was saying that a lot of the times when she's having or trying to have sex with people, her body just won't let her.
Right.
And it's half because of the vaginismus, but then another half of, I'm not ready for this, and I'm putting myself in a situation
her
that
body's sending her a message.
Yeah, it's intuitive fucking.
Right. And I think I'm doing intuitive fucking because I say this in the article, but my big epiphany is that I realized I wasn't having sex for pleasure. I was having sex to prove something to myself.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I went through that.
fuck that. I'm just like, I'll go 10 years. I don't care.
What were you trying to prove?
I was trying to prove that I'm desirable, that I'm a person who has sex, that I'm like everybody else, that I'm like my friends. You know, it's very gaslighting to hear your friends or comics on stage be like, I haven't had sex in 7 months, and everybody's like, whoa. And it's like I'm almost at 5 years. Like, what's
But also, you know, as a comic, that they could have written that joke 5 years ago and it's not true.
right?
Whenever a comic says the other day, that happened 10 years ago, they've been telling that
That's so
joke
true.
for a decade. But yes, so let's just rewind. You were trying to have sex to prove something to yourself, that you were desirable, that you were similar to other people.
Right.
You said that you did the same thing. What were you trying to prove?
Oof. Okay. So remember that a few minutes ago, I said there was something bad that happened.
Yes.
When I was 18, everything changed because someone tried to take it from me. He wasn't able to. He could not get hard. I knew nothing about sex at the time. So he was trying to do it. And I was like this. I was like, because I like, he was so forceful, but he made me feel like I was broken down there.
Right.
For sure.
So I, for a long time, was trying to prove that I wasn't. So I was having sex, but I didn't want to do it.
Right.
And I would be like, I mean, I'm talking about, and this, I don't want to get too deep and dark, but like I was like, I'd be crying and like guys didn't give, at that time, like guys just didn't care.
Yeah.
But I was like, I just got to get through it because I need to know that I'm not broken or I need to get a new cooch or something for a while. And then the first time was when I was 26, and I remember the guy, and it's so crazy. I ran into him last year at a car wash. I have not seen him in so many years, and I just thanked him, and I was like, you don't even know the gift that you gave me.
Yes.
Because
Wow.
he took his time.
Yes.
And it was the first time I was able to relax. The first time ever at 26 years old I was able to relax and finish. And so that was such a gift that he gave me. And then, you know, I still did that. I still was having sex for other people for a long time. And then a few years ago, I just said, never again.
Yeah.
I'm never not having sex because I want to.
Right.
Ever again.
Yes.
And so that was like kind of a life-changing moment for me.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the man thing though?
Yeah.
Like wanting to please a man, like wanting to be good in bed for a man.
Oh.
We talk about that a lot, but I was going to say from the angle of, like, you spoke about how you would be crying sometimes and people would still go through with it. And I'm really sorry that happened to you.
Oh. I
But-
mean, they would be like, oh, are you all right? And I'm like, oh.
It's happened to me too.
Wow.
And only once, but it was with somebody who said he loved me, you know? And
It's a real mind fuck.
it's a real mind fuck for someone to be able to go through with something knowing that you are not feeling well and that is not as good for you as it is for them. And obviously, like, there's a lot of assault that has happened to people. Like, I think that actually was something that Christina and Corinne said to me when they came on How Come. I was like, is there anything surprising to you, like, since starting this podcast? And they were like, everyone has been assaulted. And it's wild because our definition has expanded
Right.
correctly,
Yeah.
you know, whereas we used to let people just get away with stuff and kind of, I don't want to say self-assault because that takes the onus off of them. They are doing it as well. But I remember putting myself in these positions too, where I would just be like, I will just do this, even though I don't super want to.
Yeah.
I'll just go through with it because it seems like the thing
I
to
hate that.
do.
We've all done that. We've all had sex to like be polite or because it's like the most convenient thing to do. And it's like, I'm not doing that anymore.
It's also the guilt of like, you're there, right? And you
Yeah, like
feel
you owe them something.
Yes.
Because you went all the way, you're in the
You're like-
bed.
and then you change your mind or like something
yeah.
happens that you get turned off, but you're like, fuck, like, can I say no?
you can
Are they
still
going to
say
get
no.
mad at me? Or like,
Right.
are they going to never talk to me again? And like, these are all the stupid shit thoughts because I had no guidance growing up and I wish that I did. Wish I had someone to talk to about something. But like, God, I'm like, why? Like that, it's
People
not
don't
even
tell
true.
us.
Like
Yeah.
we tell each other
and
ourselves.
if they are to be like, I'll never talk to you again, and like
don't
I'll be,
want them
you
anyway.
don't want that person,
Right. Why does it take so long? Like it took me till my 30s to realize that I shouldn't care if a guy thinks I'm a prude or if a guy thinks I'm a tease. It's like,
Yeah.
that does not matter.
Yeah. There was a time that Ben and I were having sex, and it was a few years into dating and a few years into doing How Come, and you know, it's been a big unlearning process, and we were having sex, and I was like in pain, and I was like, can we stop? And he was like, of course. And I started hysterically crying because even though I know him, even though I've been saying things like this should be okay to other people,
Right.
it never felt okay to me.
Yeah.
And it was just such a massive breakthrough, and it was upsetting that it took so long to get there.
Yeah.
And yeah, there will be longer gaps between people, but the sex will be better
Hell
when
yes.
you get there.
Hell yes.
Like your guy at 26 was like worth the wait. And you wouldn't have done it if, or I don't know what headspace you were in, but
I just didn't feel threatened by him. I didn't feel pressured by him. It was like the first time that it ever happened.
Trying to look up my age for good sex.
your age?
Yeah. Because I have a story like hers. I'm just trying to see
Wait.
how old I was.
Wait, but so Lauren, you said this all started during COVID. So have you not had sex since COVID? Do you remember the last time you had
Yeah,
sex
so
with
I
another
had
person?
How old was I in 2019? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
5 years ago.
It's but I wasn't 5.
We know you weren't
19
5.
2019 minus 1980. I was 31 the first time I had good sex.
Wow.
31. Yeah.
With another person.
Yeah, with a guy.
No, I'm saying because you had good sex, it was just alone in a shower in Spain.
Thank you, Remy.
Yeah.
Thank you for the distinction there.
Yeah.
But Rachel, I was getting emotional when you were talking about like this guy didn't know what he did for you. And that's how I feel about just like this guy I had sex with just 3 times in the summer of 2019. He was just so caring and very respectful, and asked a lot of questions and good physical touch, lots of caressing. Like it was very healing, and I didn't even come, but it was like enjoyable sex that I felt safe with.
Yes.
Isn't it funny that you don't know it's possible until it happens, and once it does, you can't go back to the bullshit.
Is that what happened? Because the sex after it was a really bad one-night stand that bordered on assault. Like, it was really bad. That's the last time I had sex,
sorry.
actually.
Sorry, yeah.
And I'm like, this is an epiphany, because I had just had the good sex.
Dude, it's like you can't eat at McDonald's, right? You can't.
I'm going to have the fries.
Go to like some fancy schmancy steakhouse and then go back to eat at McDonald's.
Right.
It's like you just can't do it.
That is what happened to me. Oh my God.
Except for the steakhouse was nice to you too.
The steakhouse was very nice to me. And the steakhouse thought I was trying to date him, which I wasn't. I was so happy to have good sex, and he was like, this feels like a relationship. And it's like, I'm not. These fucking New York single men.
New York men are trash.
They're such they think everyone's trying to trap them. And it's like, I'm not trying to trap you. You would be so lucky, okay? If I would hitch my wagon.
Did he think you were trying to trap him, or did he merely want to date you?
No, he broke up with. I was like, please, can we just keep having sex? And he was like, this feels like a relationship to me. Like, I think maybe he was getting feelings and he didn't want that.
Got it.
Got it. Because we were having, lovely intimate sex. And we were going to jazz clubs, and like I loved it. But like, I didn't have feelings.
Okay.
I also love the fact that you classify it as good sex and you didn't come.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't about the like physical release.
No, I can do that.
The emotional connection
is
what you needed.
Yeah.
Did he do aftercare as well?
What is that?
It's like a doctor's office visit?
Yeah. They give
Did he
you
send me an email?
a prescription, and they tell you what you need to do 3 times a day after you see them.
No, it's like
aftercare.
Don't laugh.
Sorry. Neither of us know what it is. Remy's going to book like the most sexually active people after this.
No. You guys, this is like such an important conversation.
Oh.
And aftercare is simply giving you care after sex instead of just rolling over and falling asleep. It's maybe still massaging you. It's maybe just
Conversation,
talking to you. It is kissing you. It is maybe running you a bath. It's just doing.
Nobody ran me a bath, but I'm a big cuddler.
It's plugging your fucking phone into their charger. This guy did that for me once in London.
That's
heard he literally like rolled over, got me a glass of water, and then I heard my phone like buzz like it does when it plugs in, and I was like, oh my God.
It's like a vibrator.
I'm ready to go again.
Yeah.
Wait, so okay, that's interesting, because what is the protocol? If you like, I've actually also never had a one night stand, but
that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
The only ones I've ever had, I forced myself to have. I did not, because I wanted to be able to say, I had a one night stand.
That's most of the sex I've had, and I don't recommend it.
Yeah.
Aww.
It's not good.
But like, what is the protocol for that? Like, that's nice. You would want that, but I feel like that's like relationship-y stuff. Like when they're like getting a massage after.
Your head. I think this is a lie in your head.
If you have a one night stand, some guys really, you just don't get up and leave?
You can have a one night stand where the guy is gentle and holds you, and it's like, that's okay.
I feel like that could get confusing, because
Or
if you're just
checking
in, sure, but if you're just there for a one night stand and you're doing the lovey dovey stuff,
well, that's assuming that you're only there for the P and the V vagina penis,
but you don't know the person. So I guess my assumption of a one night stand is that's what it is. There's no like,
but sex is intimate, right? Like you kind of work up to, you're kissing the person. You're putting their genitals in your mouth, probably.
I'm not doing that.
First date, bro?
No, I mean, me neither. But some people do. A lot of people do.
I need hygiene habits. I need what goes on before. Yeah.
No, but you're bumping uglies.
Okay.
You are skin to skin. These are intimate things that are happening. How is getting you a bottle of water more intimate than that?
No, that's fine. I just, the cuddly stuff, or like the deep conversations after, because I experienced that.
Deep. No. It could just be like,
okay,
how are you feeling?
Yeah,
was
how
that
are
good
you?
for you?
When do you want me to leave? Can I, like, what feels good for you? Should I go now, or would you like to cuddle?
Do you want me to scratch your head?
See, this is very interesting, just this, because I didn't grow up with this checking in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not something I've ever experienced. And by the time I got to the point where I've kind of been off and on with someone for like the last 10 years. So like it's basically just been him. So I haven't been with any randoms.
Yeah.
So I think it would be a whole different experience now than like when I was growing up, because there was none of that.
Right.
And you're saying from your parents or from people
No,
around
like,
you?
No, I'm saying like there was none of that intimacy after the checking in, the consent, not that everyone was taking
Well,
it.
nobody told millennials either. We're just like a little more
Sensitive.
tuned into it now, because we're like, oh, we don't have to
Great.
be assaulted.
Not even necessarily assault, I would say, but just like, I don't know, if like I'm with a guy sexually that I'm not like super into, it's not a one night stand, but it's just like, I don't know, there was no real conversation.
What about with 26 guy?
What about with 26 guy? So we worked together. It was a little different dynamic.
The aftercare was at the office.
I can't even tell you where it was because I'm going to age myself like crazy, because that
that
place
Blockbuster?
hasn't existed.
It was at Blockbuster.
It damn near could have been, basically, but it was someplace that hasn't existed in a long time.
It was at Jekyll and Hyde in Times Square.
Something like that. It was very soon. ESPN Zone. Sorry, I just ratted myself out. So, yeah, but we were cool. Like I think because we started out as friends, it was a little different. And that's probably why I felt relaxed with him.
Yes. But so did he, after the sex, what was he like? Was it a turnover and leave?
No, I think we would like spend the night.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be honest. I have more memory of the before than the after, because
Me
that
too.
was more impactful to me.
Yeah. Which is totally fine as well. And kind of makes more sense because people need to be like warmed up.
The takedown's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The come down.
The come down. The no come down.
And that's the other thing that I want, like, you guys and anybody listening, like, if aftercare is not your thing, like, that's okay. You don't have to force yourself into doing anything.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. But
Just
I think,
know that it's an option.
yeah. But I think that's why I'm at the point that I'm at, where it's like, I think the guessing games would fuck with me too much to be with a guy I don't really know that well.
Yeah.
Because I would still be doing those same guessing games I did back in the day.
That's fair. I feel like that's why I'm not having sex too. It's like I want to be able to ask for what I need and do the consent check-ins and the aftercare. Now I know there's a word for that.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, it's true. Like we have these things in our heads that stop us from doing that with casual things. Cause it's like, what if we make him angry, or what if, you know,
Yeah, like, because you don't know this person.
we don't know him.
And also just like social graces, like you were saying, like, I'm doing stuff to be polite. And it's like, well, if you don't know somebody well and you maybe come from like a people pleasing mentality or a Southern mentality,
Yeah.
which Lauren does, you're going to want to be polite. But politeness is not important in the bedroom unless you're being polite to the other person about their comfortability. But you have to
Right.
be polite to yourself first.
Amen.
And Lauren, you wrote in your article that you were influenced by Kim Cattrall because of one of the things that she said, which is
I never want to do something I don't want to do ever, or something like that.
for more than 60 seconds
Yeah.
or whatever. And I'm like,
She's
okay.
like, I never want to be in a position where I have to do something I don't want to do.
It was kind
for
of
more
how
than
she
a minute or
justified
anything.
not being on the reboot of Sex and the City.
Got it. I
must
think I
have-
remember that.
Thrown so much money at her, and God bless her. She's just.
But they
like,
only got
no.
her for a minute.
Right.
Like she held
60
fast.
seconds.
Yeah.
She did it.
She
She did
held to
something
her
she-
boundaries.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love her.
I love her so much.
I want to know what happened on that show so bad.
Oh my God.
I'm like, I need to know.
I used to recap them. I have, little highlights actually of all of season 1 and 2 of season 2, and then I stopped because of the strikes.
Oh man.
But maybe I'll bring it
Of
back.
the original, and just like that?
And just like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did you
those-
watch the original?
Oh, yes. I watched
yeah,
it
yeah.
all,
I
baby.
really liked watching the recaps of it just like that because it's so bad. The recaps are so good.
But I liked the show, actually.
And just like that?
Yeah, I did like the show.
Oh man, it drove me crazy with the comedy concert shit.
Oh my God, it was insane. It was insane.
There was a part that gave me a little joy because I've bartended in comedy clubs for a long time, and there was like a part where Miranda's waiting for Che to get off stage, and she's blocking the door.
Oh my
and they're
gosh.
Like, you can't stand here.
You can't stand here.
I was like,
That was a really good
touched
part.
my soul.
I have flashbacks from just standing there
So funny.
and getting yelled at, probably by you.
I would never Remy.
No, I
now
know.
there's a few others. That's another story.
Get the fuck out of the way. But yeah, I love that quote because it's whether, I don't want to do this show that I'm doing anymore. I don't feel comfortable. Or I don't want to do this sex anymore. I don't feel comfortable. Or I don't want to do sex at all. I don't feel comfortable. Like whatever the thing is that works for you, works for you.
Dude, embracing your inner asshole is the best thing that I ever did.
Oh, I want to finger my asshole. That makes me comfortable. Yay. Do whatever feels good.
Sure. Okay.
I just have this butt plug sitting next to me and I'm like working up to it.
The lamp?
No, the lamp looks like anal beads.
Right.
Yeah.
I've never done anal either. I also was a little confused up until recently about how butt plugs even work.
I'll show you this one.
Do you leave it in while you're stroking?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, stroking is what I call sex.
That's cool.
So,
Wow, it's like a fancy container.
Why is the container so big?
yeah. So this is, we had a guest, Abby Chatfield, who is an Australian media icon. She's amazing. And
Bless
she's
you.
just partnered with this company called Normal to make butt plugs. And Rachel, will you just undo this for me?
Okay. Well, they got it wrapped.
So it comes
Okay,
in this
there we go.
very fun little travel pack. And you can see the pack here.
It looks like a medical assistance
Looks
travel
like one
case.
of my old aprons
Yeah.
from my
Yeah. There's like a bottle opener in one.
It says start here. It's got the charger, and you're like, charger for what? Well, it's got this little vibrator, which you could use as just a vibrator.
I want one of those.
Yeah.
I don't have a vibrator
But
anymore.
then also, it has these butt plugs.
That is not going in somebody's butt.
It is.
No, it's not.
There's a smaller one, but the vibrator goes in
Oh,
the plug.
wow.
And apparently,
new to
it's
me.
very
If it gets
exciting.
stuck in there.
Well, that's why it has this base.
Okay.
You don't
If it
put
can
you
go
don't put
farther than
anything
that,
up your ass
not
that
your
doesn't have a base.
Okay.
FYI.
Wow. Dishwasher safe?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Do you want to touch it?
Yeah.
So
I'll give you the small one.
I might age myself with this question, but could you do that to your guy? Like if your guy wanted that?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
The funniest thing is, so I live here with my dad, and every so often he'll come in, and I will have gotten a sex toy in the mail, and he comes in the other night, and he's like, "Oh, what's this?" And just like
Starts opening it up?
picks up
It
the
looks
cylinder.
like it could be tea.
Yeah, it does. And I was like, it's sex stuff. And he was like, oh, he's like, for girls or guys? And I was like, both.
Don't be so binary, Dad.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Does that get weird?
No, he's a doctor. So it's like,
Oh.
but he's still my dad.
Yeah.
So I'm like, don't ask where it goes.
Wow, that's the first butt plug I've ever seen in real life.
I don't think I've ever touched one before.
Wow. Thank you.
This was like going to the
thank
petting
you
zoo.
for blessing my butt plugs, you guys.
Yeah. Let us know how it goes.
I'm scared. No, I'm not. I'm excited, but it is that feeling of like, ugh, I should do this thing. I hear it's great. And so I'm between like, am I doing it because I want to do it or because I feel like I should? But I think I'm leaning more towards the I want to because I heard that they make orgasms like so nice.
Yeah, why wouldn't you just
And
try
I
it?
love to be plugged up in general.
What do you mean? Oh, plugged holes.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Something in the front while
Yeah, yeah.
masturbating the external clit.
Give it a go.
Yeah, we'll see. Or I'll just throw it up Ben's.
Well, there's his and hers in there, you know? Which one of you has the bigger asshole?
Oh my God.
Usually the person who is the bigger asshole has a smaller asshole.
Interesting.
No, that's not science.
Fun
it's just
scientific
something
fact.
that something
It
that
makes
I
sense,
assume,
though.
right?
It makes sense though, because you're like, tight.
Yeah. Like when they call people anal, it's like you're anal retentive.
Yeah.
Your butt's
Yeah.
clenched. That
Yep.
makes sense.
You're a tight ass. Anyway,
I'm a hard ass.
what were we talking about before butt stuff?
We were talking about the before and after of,
Oh
having,
yeah, about 26. Oh, and you said he would stay the night, which I also want to note, not a necessity in aftercare. It's nice.
Thank you, Remy.
If you both want it,
Don't stay in my bed. Get out. I would like a little aftercare cuddling, and then that's something I used to struggle with is I have trouble sleeping. And some men take it personally when you're like, I've tried so hard to tell them like I just have
I think a
trouble
lot of people can take
sleeping.
it personally.
Like, do you mind going home? And it feels bad to be asked to leave, I guess.
Yeah.
But even if you over communicate it, and so like this guy, we didn't even have sex, but we were like, I was having sleepovers with this guy. He was a coworker. It happens.
No, it happens
the
a
time.
lot, and it's a big HR issue, but people, when they're put in the same place all
It's
the
inevitable.
time and they're getting to know each other and they're kind of trauma bonding.
Can I just tell you something? We would destroy Vanderpump Rules. Vanderpump Rules would get no ratings after they saw Comedy Club. What goes on behind the scenes over there? No clue. I'm like, I tell the owner
Bring
of the
some
club all the
cameras
time.
to the Comedy
He's like,
Club.
I've asked him, and he was like, you don't think I know that?
Yeah.
He was like, the problem is I can't fire anyone.
No, comedy has no.
we don't have an
Are
HR.
you saying the people, the staff?
Yeah, the staff, Looney Tunes. So it's like,
Wow.
So yeah, the owner knows. We've had many, like, I'm telling you, it's like a complete shit show. Now it's better. There were more women hired to be put in place to go to, because there was a point when we didn't have anyone to go
I mean, the
to.
government
Yeah.
is HR if you think about it. Like if you actually break a law, you can report it. But I think HR is for harassment in the workplace that's not breaking laws, but it's like not cool. Or is it illegal to sexually harass in the workplace?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we've had to do the whole video and watch it and do out the forums and all
Wait,
that.
it is.
Yeah.
But also having people hire more equipped people to talk to about it. I mean, I guess they're not technically HR, but they are going to moderate something.
So it's a fine line, right? Because it's not a corporate environment. So
It's which isn't representative of like
corporate. It's
the
it's
whole
it's like a
world.
whole
Yeah.
nother. It's like a whole nother thing.
all I know from corporate HR is like, oh, you have to like report it if you're seeing someone. Like you have to tell HR like we're having a relationship.
yeah.
We have to do that now.
Yeah.
We have to sign it. We have to say if we're dating someone else in the vicinity, we have to tell
Even if
them,
it's casual, you have to like
Even
check
if
a
it's-
box. You're like
even if it's casual. If we don't,
situationship.
Yeah.
we don't let them know, we're immediately terminated.
Wow. I mean,
I think that's a good thing.
That's good.
Yeah.
To be upfront.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to worry about, if you see people canoodling, you don't want to worry like, is she okay?
Sure, and
Like,
also
no, they're
make sure to be
dating.
like, do I really want to date this person?
Yeah.
Like, I have to really want to date this person.
To tell your boss. Yeah. Yeah.
To tell his dad. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. We're seeing each other. The butt plugs for both of us.
I didn't tell my boss that I was having a relation. It wasn't really a relation. It was just, we'd go to the work events and make out, and he'd come over, and then because I'm me, I like wouldn't have sex. I'd be like, I'm not ready yet. And then we'd do other stuff, and then I would ask him to leave because I
Yeah.
can't sleep.
Yeah.
I can't share a bed. And then he got
Dude, we have
so
a lot in
upset.
common.
I know.
Jesus Christ.
And it's like, I really liked him, but it ended up happening that I found out that he was kind of like stalking somebody.
Like
And,
that's not good.
That's not good. And then during COVID, he said something really like shitty and mansplaining to me on my Instagram. And I was like, you know what? Block. Like, this is someone I used to have a crush on and have sleepovers with. And it was just like,
maybe
such
your
a
spidey
rude
sense
thing
would
to
really
say.
kicked in. It's like, you know what? I don't know if I really want to be that intimate with this person.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was, because I was thinking, oh, I'm not ready yet, and but
You're not
right,
ready
like,
for this person.
Something in my body was like, don't fuck him.
Yeah. No, this has been a common theme, this episode and the last one, that it's like your body's just like,
Yeah, because I had sex like a year later,
and it was good.
and it was good.
We just need to learn to listen to our guts, man.
Listen to your gut, listen to your body. Well, research intuitive eating.
I am gonna.
This episode's gonna be called Intuitive Fucking.
Intuitive fucking. My body says I want dick.
Have you ever, because we are on the subject of intuitive eating a lot and Lauren's doing DST, has body image ever gotten in the way of fucking a person, or you're just such a confident hot bitch?
Body image definitely played a role. I would say I didn't have sex till I was 22. And a lot of it was like, I feel like religion was just this like comfortable fallback, being like, I'm saving myself for marriage. But it's like, I don't want anybody to see me naked. That's what's actually happening. And then I guess body image played a role in like the opposite way. Like I wanted a guy to find my body desirable. And that's why I was having the sex that I was having, because I was like, oh, wow, this person is validating my body, which is this thing that we're trained to want and need. And now, again, being so vulgar here, but I don't give a fuck anymore. I don't care if a man finds me attractive. I cut my hair short. I wear whatever I want to wear. I don't care if men find me attractive, even though I'm attracted to men. Like, I just don't care anymore.
You care if you find you attractive.
I care if I find me attractive, but at the same time, like, it's this weird thing with plus size people where, if you're listening to this, hi, I'm a hot fatty, where you like, Jesus. Like, I'm self-confident. Like, I like my body.
Great.
I take naked pics. I like how I look. I've
great
done a lot
body.
of work.
Wow.
Thank you. I'll show you my phone. I take nudes just for my girlfriends. Like, it's just, look at this. Look at this.
You send your friends
No,
nudes?
like in person, because I don't want them to be, and they're not full nudes. They're just like cute, hot. So I'll show you guys.
Okay.
It's like underwear selfies. It's ridiculous. So, anyways, I like how my body looks now. It was like a long-term struggle as a fat person. I've always been plus size, but it's this weird thing where it's like, I like how I look, but I'm still scared they're not gonna like how I look, you know? And a lot of times if a guy does like me or shows interest, he's only talking about my body and my big curves and my big boobs. And I'm just like,
So then it dips into like fetishization
Damn.
territory.
and it's like, why do I have to be, and that's another thing where it almost, I mean, I could have sex right now if I wanted to, you know, like tonight, not like with you guys. But sometimes it does feel almost involuntary in a sense.
If they're there, they're into you. If they're in that
Right.
moment with you, so you don't even have to question if they like your body, because
They're already
they
there.
can see you. They're
I know
already
that.
imagining what you look like naked.
Right.
You're not going to disappoint.
I guess what I was getting at was, do I have to be, I have this idea in my head that I think is a lie, that I know is a lie, where it's like the only people that are going to be with you are people who are chubby chasers or who like big bellies and big and it's just like, obviously I would want to be with somebody who finds my body attractive, but there's something in my brain that doesn't want to date someone who likes
who
my body.
only wants that for, yes.
You know?
Yeah,
You want
no.
it to be deeper than that.
Like
You're
but
like,
it's-
show me your
but
portfolio
it's not
of exes.
realistic.
Are they diverse?
I know. I want somebody to like be my friend and love my personality and respect me and
The body's
think
a
I'm
bonus.
amazing.
Also find you attractive,
And then also find me attractive, and the body's kind of like secondary almost.
Yeah.
Like it makes me feel uncomfortable if somebody approaches me because they like my body. I don't like that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Well, I mean,
And it makes sense too.
most growing up, I mean, you've seen my you know, me, and I've been sexualized a lot for you know, having a booty.
I've never noticed your butt.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh,
Have you ever noticed mine?
Give us a
I
spin.
noticed yours today. I didn't notice it before because you always wear baggy clothes, but you got it today.
Yeah, Remy, you have a really nice ass.
You do.
Thanks, guys.
But yeah, it was a real mind fuck for me growing up because
Oh, sorry.
I always had it. It's okay. I always had a butt when I was little.
Yeah.
And so I got made fun of it. I got bullied so bad. Like disgusting, fat, you're just like just every name in the book.
Wow.
And then J-Lo came along.
Hell
and
yeah.
all of a sudden it's
Butts
cool.
are in.
Yeah.
And changed my entire existence.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So maybe it's not people who are chasing, it's just people who have been now, quote unquote, allowed to be attracted to bodies that they've always been attracted to. Like, I feel the same way that it used to be stick thin girls or whatever, and being curvy was not a good thing at all. Like, not even, mid-size curves.
Boobs. Yes.
Boobs, sure. Yeah.
Boobs allowed.
Yeah.
But
Boobs
like-
allowed, but no hips.
Oh,
One
no.
time I was told
No
my
thighs.
boobs didn't count because I was fat. It was
No.
Yeah.
Like, what is wrong with people?
I was 16. We were on a
Oh, as a
bus.
kid, they're
we were on
stupid.
like a field trip, and everybody was talking about like who has the best boobs on the bus, and and they were like, "Well, Lauren has really big boobs," and they're like, "But she's fat; it doesn't count." And that stayed with me my
Fuck.
whole life. That
Oh
my
my
boobs didn't
God.
count because everything else was big.
Gotta love kids, huh?
Your
Yeah.
boobs count.
My boobs totally count.
I did a stitch today. I haven't posted it yet on TikTok because this girl was showing that she has like a very curved back. So her butt sticks out even more. And she was like, does anybody else have this? Because like she was responding to a comment that was like, you're sticking your butt out. And she was like, no, my spine is just like this. Does anybody else have this? And I was like, I have that.
Oh.
And I remember in 8th grade or in 7th and 8th grade, a lot of people were noticing my butt for the first time. And I really liked the attention initially. And then it took this weird turn of Remy's trying to stick out her butt. And she is only her butt or whatever. And this one girl specifically would be like, why do you stand like that? Why do you walk like that? And I looked in the mirror after like watching this girl stitch, and I was like, oh my God, my spine is like that too.
Yeah.
And it was just like,
Also, let women have nice asses. Like it's just that's anti-woman to be like, why are you doing your body like that? Are you trying to make your
just
what
like-
if you are trying to make your butt look big? Like
what if I
also-
was? But
you
also
know?
at the same time, I was getting harassed by the boys in our grade. Some of them would try and stick a lacrosse stick up my ass when I'm just walking through the halls. I had to take them to the principal's office. And then you've got this other girl being like, you love it.
That's just insecurity. Projecting insecurity. I
Right.
can't. What do you fucking care what my ass looks like?
Right.
What do you give a fuck?
Let me have a nice ass.
And at what point is like attention not wanted anymore? It's like, I'm not trying. It was nice the first week
Yeah.
that they said nice
They're
butt,
just
but
mad because
then
they're not getting it.
no, but I was also mad because I was getting too much attention.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like I would shy away from that.
Yeah.
I get a lot of male
And
attention.
now I wear a lot of baggy clothes.
Isn't it funny how these trends? I was talking about this at work the other day. It's like, bro, I and I'm aging myself again, but I dress like TLC
What
already.
is the problem? You're allowed to be of an
Right.
Sure,
age.
but like, it just, I don't know. I'm like, I dress like TLC already.
Yeah.
Like, can we think of something new? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I not that I love skinny jeans. I don't care, but it's also like,
I hate skinny jeans. They're only good for boots for me.
but they're just more comfortable.
Yeah.
also.
I like skinny
like
jeans.
the hardcore jeans that like,
No.
like
Get the hard pants off of me immediately.
What hard pants?
Jeans.
And it gives me flashbacks
Oh.
of school because I could never find jeans to fit me because I always had hips and a butt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was no stretch jeans back then. So this is taking me right back there.
yeah.
Wait, but you're saying you like skinny jeans?
Yeah, because I had stretch.
They're
Because
more comfortable.
Stretch.
I'm not speaking for all fat people, but most of my plus size friends, we all like the skinny jeans.
Mm-hmm.
Horrible name, but they're quote unquote flattering. You know, they go
Suck
in at the
in.
waist.
Yep.
They hold everything together. They go. It
Things aren't
shows
just
your
moving
shape.
around. Yeah.
You don't like. I've tried. I'll be posting a try on video soon for a company that sent me clothes and it went horribly, and they're probably gonna be mad. But maybe they'll send me better ones. But they sent me a bunch of wide leg stuff, and it just doesn't look how I would want it to look on my body. It's like holding my stomach and then just fabric hanging down. And it's like, no, I want it to contour my body. Like a lot of curvy
Interesting.
people prefer a skinny jean.
See, and I see a lot of the girls on my TikTok who are plus sized and rocking baggy ass
I know.
pants.
I don't know where they're shopping. Maybe they have
Everyone
tailors.
is a snowflake. We're all different. We all like different stuff. But okay, before we get out of here,
Yes.
Lauren, you brought up your nudes.
Oh.
There's no
And-
nipples in the photos. Let
You
me
gotta
be
get
clear.
naked, Remy?
That's
What's
fine.
happening?
I'm gonna get naked. No, I wanted to show you this text I received
Oh, yeah.
because have you guys ever received like a phishing text where it's like a person pretending that they have been dating you or that they slept with you. And then
No.
no,
No.
like it's not a real person. It's like a bot or something like that where it'll be like, hey, Matthew, had a great night last night, like, whatever. And then you're like, this isn't Matthew. And they're like, oh, what are you up to? And the whole thing with the scam is that eventually you send your nudes to this like fake person. And then they're like, I have your nudes now. I'm going to put them on the internet, and they extort you. And they're like, send me money.
Oh, that scam makes sense.
I think I did get one of those texts before.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I got a text the other day. Hey, I'm running late. These Ubers keep canceling on me. Can you come uptown? I said, hi, so sorry. Who is this? And I'm thinking it's a real person at this point.
Yeah, that's a pretty good
because
text.
Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes, Marcus. And I go, which Marcus? I know some Marcuses. I'm like, maybe I forgot an appointment, whatever. He sends me a dick pic. Gigantic penis on this alleged Marcus. So then I'm like, oh, this is a bot, right? Like, and if it is a man who's just sending his penis, like, I want him to feel a little weird. And so he sends the photo. He goes, remember now, Dr. Marcus, the chiropractor, LOL. Which also sounds like phishing to me because
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, he's a doctor with a fucking huge hog.
Marcus is like a hot name too.
Like, who's not going to respond to this? And I go, oh shit, you should get tested. I have chlamydia.
Perfect. Only you would reply to an unwelcome dick pic.
And then Marcus responds, you for real? And I was
This is a
like,
bot, Remy.
right?
I think he just has the wrong number. I think the girl that he was trying to contact gave him the wrong number.
Because that's a really sophisticated bot. I needed to go uptown. He's a chiropractor.
Right?
Are you going to show us this pic
So-
or what?
No, I didn't. I cut it out. But then when he goes, you for real? I go, oh no, I just made Marcus think he's got an STI.
It's amazing.
And I showed it to Ben and I was like, should I tell him like it's not true?
Yeah, I thought you were a bot.
And he's like, no. But
No.
now I'm like,
No,
should
Sean.
we call Marcus?
Maybe he needs an STD
Ooh,
test
on the
anyway.
podcast right now?
Oh my God, yes.
Yes.
Do it.
Not on my phone. Give me my phone.
But also, like, do we think that the girl who he meant to send it to wanted that dick pic?
Yeah, because he was going to see her. I'm running late. Ubers keep canceling on me. He's telling her, like, I'm late for our sex appointment. You know?
But I'm thinking
Also, Ben was like, is a chiropractor a real chiropractor or he just like breaks your back?
Do chiropractors call themselves doctors too? Oh, sex joke.
that's so funny. I mean, you could try him, but I just think the girl that he was stroking gave the wrong number.
Stroking.
Sorry. It's a thing.
Yeah, in which case she did not want the picture and he totally misread the signals.
We never want the pictures. But this is why
yeah.
the unsolicited dick pics go in the group chat.
Wait, go find the number.
I'm mad that why did you X out the picture?
I know. It's you can't even.
I'll show it to you after if you
I don't want to see it actually.
It's huge.
Huge is
Okay.
relative.
This is all just a slow process to realize I'm gay.
We'll talk about that another time.
If he doesn't answer, this is going to be very anticlimactic.
We'll leave a message.
No, we're not leaving a
Well,
message.
we can also see if the answering machine is a person or if it's like,
Yeah.
welcome to Temu. You know?
The call is not reachable. BPS 610.
Bot.
Bot.
Interesting.
Unreachable.
What does that mean? I've never even heard that before.
That's a bot. You're right, Remy.
Yeah, you might be right.
That's a good bot, though.
That was a great bot. It had me feeling sad. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, poor Marcus.
He'll be fine.
He's at the doctor.
We're so gullible. We were like, Marcus is...
I'm going to text him again.
Text him and say, I just found out it's not chlamydia. And then he'll be like, what's your social?
What's your social?
Okay, I texted him, Marcus, are you there? You guys have to go soon, but listeners, stay tuned.
Okay.
Maybe Marcus is real and will respond.
Marcus. That's why I hear boomerang in my head. Marcus, darling.
Marcus is such a good name.
Does anybody want to see the dick?
show it to Rachel. I'm
Yeah, let's
I'm opting out.
Of course. Oh, that's not too bad.
Not too bad in what way?
I mean, yeah, it's a little ridiculous. It's a little ridiculous.
Sometimes
He's a chiropractor?
how come sometimes the penis is a different color than the rest of the body?
It's not his.
I didn't look at it. It just came to mind.
Also, I would never show somebody else's dick to people.
This
but
is a bot's dick.
Oh,
this
I
seems
have.
like a
What
bot
are you,
dick.
nuts? Listen, I met this guy on Hinge, okay? And I mean, so gorgeous. Such a gorgeous man. This was during the pandemic. And we were so bored. And we were having a conversation. And he said, send me a pic. And I showed my shape a little bit. The conversations immediately went to sex. But super cool before that.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, damn it. So then he was like, do you want to see a pic, like a dick pic? And I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
And
Nice
he
he asked.
sent it anyway.
Never mind.
And so I put it in the group chat. Look, guys, it was the craziest
That's
looking
allowed.
thing I had ever seen in my entire life. So I told him when I was like, listen, you gave us a ton of joy in the group chat. Let me tell you. Like the jokes were like for days.
Oh my gosh.
How did he
sent
feel?
me a dick pic of him sitting in a kitchen on a chair in the kitchen. By the counter. Why is your dick out in the kitchen?
You know what some people do is they'll send dick pics back to unasked for dick pics. And then it's like, well, how does it
Oh,
feel?
yes.
Like if somebody sends you a dick pic that you didn't want to see,
Send them
send
another
them a
dick.
pic of somebody else's dick.
So on the podcast, Phil, my co-host,
Yeah.
he would go airdrop dick, not his own dick, but he would airdrop dick pics on the train. And like we had Josh Johnson on that episode, and he was like, "This sounds like terrorism."
It is.
I don't love that.
it's bad.
But he would only do it to guys' names, not girls. So he wanted men to know how it felt.
okay.
So it was kind of like for us, you know. But like,
We shouldn't harass men either, guys.
why not? They could use a little.
I just, God bless.
We can't fight fire with dick pics.
2 dick pics don't make a no dick pic.
Don't make a right.
2 yeah. I was going to get there.
2 left-leaning dick pics
my
don't make a
gosh.
right. Rachel, you mentioned your podcast. It's called
Dating app disasters. It is a wild ride of what happens with comedians, actors, all types of people we've had on, talk about all the wild stuff, including my own, that have had happen to them. And it's a lot of great, cautionary tales. And we've had some great success stories too. Not a lot, but a few.
Great. Lauren, do you have any dating app disasters?
I have plenty of dating app
doesn't
disasters
at this point?
I guess the quickest one that comes to mind is like a really bad first date with a guy from an app, and he just kept talking the whole time about, thank you for meeting me. I like dating women who are not traditionally attractive. I find them more interesting.
Oh my God.
Which he's right, but like you don't say that.
Oh my God.
You don't say that out
I
loud.
love when just people cannot read the fucking room. Like,
It's like, why? I mean, it sucks because he needed to explain why he, a tall, handsome doctor, was on a date with me. Like, you can just be on a date with me because I'm beautiful.
Yeah.
Don't call me non-traditionally
I had a
attractive.
guy call me a C before. I was like, oh, you think I'm going to go out with you again? This is funny.
No, I don't even remember what I said. I was like, well, thank you, kind sir.
Back at you.
Yeah, me too. That would have been good. I also date non-traditionally attractive people. Thank you for meeting me.
Just boomerang
I'll
it.
go.
Yeah. Hilarious. Well, you guys, it has been so nice and interesting to talk to you both. Rachel, no pressure to ever masturbate.
Okay.
No pressure to go.
I felt the pressure just now.
No pressure to ever go to a therapist that wants to dig deep if you don't want to. But also know that the option is always there for you, and you deserve whatever joy you want, whether that's not jacking off or giving it a little try.
Whatever pacing.
Thank you. And I agree with you wholeheartedly on that.
Yeah. And Lauren, you deserve to not fuck anyone until you want to.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm only having sex because I really, 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 really want to.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That all women should do that.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not that crazy of a stance.
No.
It's wild that it is though.
Right?
And I hope that you reunite with that shower head someday.
Oh. Trujillo.
And many more shower heads.
Yeah.
Many more shower heads to come. Lauren, where can everybody find you?
I'm on Instagram at Lauren Hope Krass. You can listen to the podcast I inherited from Remy. And that's just find me on Instagram. We'll be friends.
Yeah.
Nice.
Rachel, where can they find you?
So, I don't give out my last name. I don't even really have one, but
Ooh, sexy,
I'm elusive.
mysterious.
Yeah.
Madonna.
You can find me on Instagram. I'm Rachie B, RACHEEBE, and Rachel B on Facebook. I'm not on the TikTok. I don't have the patience. Yeah, but
No, it's fantastic. I love it. Shut the fuck up.
sorry. But yeah, Instagram, you can find me, Rachie B, and then also Dating App Disasters.
Love it. You guys can find me at Remy Casimir, the podcast at How Come Podcast. Both of those are on TikTok and Instagram and Twitter, which I guess we're calling X.
X.
Yeah.
X.
Rate, review, and subscribe to the pod if you haven't already. Thank you again
Thank
for
you for
being
having
here. I have to ask you guys one question before you go, which I have to ask everybody after a sexual experience. Okay. Rachel, did you finish?
Oh, multiple times.
Okay, great. Lauren, did you finish?
I'm coming right now.
Wow. You guys, thank you so much for coming.
Oh my God, this was amazing. Thank you for having me,
Thank you, Remy.
And we'll see you next time on How Come. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Miss you. Love you.
Miss you. Love you.
It's not you, it's me. I try so hard to finish honestly. They say you'll know when you go all the way from A right down to O. Oh no, I think that I still got a ways to go. Oh, I'm sick of this and I have got to know. How come? How come? How come I can't achieve? How come I can't achieve? I'm rolling up my sleeves. I'm rolling up my sleeves. Oh baby, I believe these guests can help. 'Cause I can't do it by myself. I wanna just...
Wasn't that such a good episode? I'm so happy that they were both on together. I think that was very healing and good for all of us. Something that was not healing for me this week was I was walking into my dad's building where I live through the basement. And as I'm walking through, I hear the How Come theme song playing loudly from someone's phone, and it was the guys who work in the back were listening to How Come together, and I just like scurried along and I was like, oh no, oh, they know I squirt. Okay. But exciting. Welcome, new companions. So happy to have you here. And yeah, a little uncomfy, but it's fine. We're normalizing this stuff. And yeah, I did want to insert in this Marvel section, which we have after the closing credits. Lauren has been asking me for some soothing sounds of Grace purring. And this week, she's been purring. So I set up my little mic and I got a little bit of that for you guys. She's done it before on the podcast, but it's been a while. So here for your listening pleasure is Grace purring while glaring at me. It's a very cat thing to do, but here it is. What a cute baby. All right. Thank you guys so much for staying until the end. If you have any thoughts on this episode or any other episode, DM us at How Come Podcast. And again, write us a review. We love it. It helps the podcast so much. Somebody wrote recently that it is a hidden gem, and we love to be a hidden gem, but we also just want to be like a well-known gem. We think it'll help a lot of other people, and we appreciate it so much. Okay. Bye, guys.